Hey dorks, coming at you from the Lone Star State, a pop culture podcast about movies, TV, toys, and other dorky things, with a twist of real-life dad stuff too. So here he is, Lucky the Dork Dad. This is the Dork Dad Podcast.
Hey dorks, Lucky here with another episode of the Dork Dad Podcast. Yes, I know it's been a minute, but I am here with a new episode, finally. Let's see, I've been over on the RLU trying to put out a series of Family Feud games, which you can hear on the RLU network. That's the Raw Live Unedited Podcasting Network. And I'll be also posting up those Family Feud episodes on my own feed. We still have the championship round to go, which we'll probably be doing this weekend. But I said, I had to get out an episode of my own. I've been neglecting my own show. But before we get into that, how is everyone doing with this COVID? I mean, for us on the home front, we've been pretty safe so far, but it definitely sucks, especially for the kids. My son, my oldest, he's going to be a senior this year, and he was a little bummed out. He plays the trombone for the school band, and here recently they said that they're not going to be doing any band competitions that year. They just canceled all that. They want all those kids together in one place, which kind of sucks, especially for a senior year. And my son, he's in charge of the loading crew, and it's pretty much the group of the band kids that's responsible for loading up all the band equipment whenever they have away games and going away to all the competitions. And they just announced that they're not going to have any bands going to any away games. So he's really bummed out about that, because that means his job being head of the loading crew, which means that we're not going to be loading anything. They're only going to be at home games. And, we're not even loading up for home games. There's a stadium actually at the high school where they have the games. So, yeah. So he's bummed out about that. And my daughter's just starting high school. She did make the dance team. And again, I don't know if they're going to have any competitions, but it's just a little weird. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And my youngest, he was just looking forward to going back to school. And they're still going back to school. It may be different for other people, but the school district here where I'm at, they were giving people a choice whether they want to be have the chance to come into the schools to learn face-to-face or just learn from home for the entire year. Well, we chose to let the kids go to school, but even still, they're not letting anybody in the schools until after Labor Day. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so on today's show, we have a couple of guys that I met. We have Leo, who has his own podcast called Nerd Spew, which is kind of a little funny story. I actually, I'm into Batman right now. And I bought this figure off of Mercari, the online shopping app. And when I purchased it, he sent me a message that says, hey, I'm actually in San Antonio. And I said, oh, really? And I was like, hey, I have a podcast, this and that. And he's like, oh, you do? I have a podcast. He's like, well, I haven't recorded in a while, but I have a podcast. So he runs a Nerd Spew podcast. And then he's like, I brought up a couple other local podcasters, said, hey, do you know these guys? And he's like, no, I don't. But a buddy of mine also has a podcast. He's like, oh, is he here in San Antonio too? He's like, yeah, he's here in San Antonio. So we also have Ian, which runs the Geek Paradox podcast. And so I looked these guys up. They haven't recorded anything since like October last year. It's been a while. Like they literally haven't recorded anything in roughly a year. And I like to help folks out, right? So I figured, hey, let me reach out to these guys. Say, hey, you want to record something? Maybe it'll motivate them to get back on the horse. Well, they got on the horse. I think they pretty much took over the show, which is fine by me. We had a good time. I had a good time getting to know these guys. This is my first time talking to them outside of a chat. And maybe we'll hear from these guys again. They, like they said, they really got motivated about us doing the show, and I don't know, maybe we'll do something. I'll do something with them moving forward here. So one last thing before we start. Of course, this episode is brought to you by 3-Legged Rabbits. That's the number 3, leggedrabbit.com, where you can find shirts and all kinds of stuff. Zamfo Tees art, which the newest shirts on there. We have a Slimer shirt by Nick, and also a Batman shirt, which is pretty awesome. I have both of those. So head on over to 3leggedrabbit.com. And it is safe to order now, if that's the right wording. So during all this COVID thing, there were a lot of shipping delays, a lot of extended processing time, but things are getting back to normal, and you're getting a quicker turnaround on those shirts. So head on over. So having said that, let's go ahead and start this show with Leo and Ian. What's going on?
Bunch, man. Just chilling. Let me see here. Did you add Ian in here?
Yeah.
Or not yet?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
He said he was ready, right?
Yeah, no, we were chatting right now. So he should.
I almost didn't want to answer.
There he is.
Yeah. I'm grooving.
What's
We
going
good.
on?
How we going?
All right.
Oh my god, I gotta get out of sideshow. This is not a good idea. This is not good for my
I
health.
already told you that, Leo.
This is not good. This is not good for my health. What do? I search Batman. I was like, hold on, let me narrow the search. Statue. Okay, I just made it worse.
What are you picking up?
I'm just looking at some Batman statues, but
For future pickups.
for possible future pickups. Yeah, I was telling Melissa that I was looking at a Flash. There it is. It's a Flash premium format figure. Runs about $560.
So you remember that Reveltech Batman that I had that was on the nightstand, this one here? Where he's like, his cape was all like cracked and broken looking?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so this is him now with a cloth adjustable cape.
Turn on your camera. I can't see it.
I just got to move more thing. Oh, no, it's not on. You bastard. This one.
There we go. Oh, yeah.
Much better, right?
Nice.
Which one is that one?
This is the one that was on the left-hand side of the TV cabinet. This is the one that had all the separate pieces put together and kind of spread out.
Okay. I'm trying to remember it.
See if I can.
Voltec, did it come with that wired cape?
No, I bought it separately.
Nice.
The one it came with was in. Hold on, let me show you.
You can see all of Melissa's stuff over here, like to my left shoulder to y'all's right. So she's got all her Captain America stuff in that corner. That whole wall is Captain America.
I have lost the box. Where did I put it?
It's all good.
Yeah, I know. I found this premium statue and I got payment plans for it. And
I don't like payment plans. They scare me.
Yeah, you know, and I was thinking the same thing.
With these pieces.
Oh, just like a hard plastic.
Yeah, where they're all multi-connected.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember that one.
It was one of the first ones I got. It was up there. It was in the back.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks so much better with the cloth cape.
I'm all about the Batman right now. That's actually how I met Leo here.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. The the little Batman figure I sold. It wasn't little.
I'll show you the small portion of my Batman collection.
Nice.
And then I've got the Mezco Batman over there choking out the Joker. And then I've got Hellbat and Nightwing right there, or Red Hood right there.
Nice. I just got the Supreme Knight Mezco. I haven't opened them up yet, but I just got them in.
I was looking at that one. This was the first Mezco I ever bought. And then right after that, I bought Joker, both Blades, the Punisher, and then I stopped. I said, okay, I gotta stop spending money now.
I got John Wick over here too, and I don't know.
I want it so bad. I keep telling myself,
I don't even know if I want to open it. And I got that.
Yeah, I'm in the bedroom, so all my stuff is in the loft. Just because Gio's out there playing Fortnite, pretending that
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, for the most part he does, but it's just like, need you to be quiet. You're making a lot of noise. He's like, okay. And it's also kind of dark. No, well, you know what? Let me see if I can take the laptop over there. I just got to tell him to keep it down.
No baby cussing, Gio.
What the hell? Let's see. We're gonna travel back in time.
How long have you been doing podcasting for?
Hey, Gio, I'm gonna need you to keep it down, okay? I'm gonna close this door.
About a little over a year, but I've been like here and there. Sometimes I have like months between episodes, but you know. Well, you know how it is. Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
With family and everything.
Mm-hmm. Family and school. I haven't posted a new episode in, I don't know, since last October.
So, I got a few little items right there. I'm not sure how close. Well, you got the Batman stuff right there. And then it goes down to my Ghostbusters stuff right there. And then a little further down, my Predator stuff.
Nice. And then Turtles after that?
And then Turtles, yeah. My Mondo Turtles, the 1/4 scales. Yeah. Which I haven't opened up. Those are really cool, though.
I'm so disappointed in those 6-inch Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so mad that I spent all that money.
Mm-hmm. I saw you open them up, and I was just like, oh. I was like, it's a good thing I didn't pre-order these.
I told you that the Terror Dog's leg broke as soon as I put it together, right?
Really?
Yeah.
And I hear they're like a little bit smaller. They're not quite 6 inches, right? They're like.
No, yeah, they're just a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought a little Terror. I'm trying to complete my the little mystery minis, the Funkos. I'm trying to complete my Ghostbuster wave that released this year for the 35th anniversary. I got a Terror Dog today on eBay for a pretty good price. So, because I know he was running for like $100, I think, PPG or Hot Price Guide. So some guy had it for $18. I don't know if he dropped in price or what. So I figured I'd snag him. He's at that price.
Got out of the minis. I was going crazy with the minis, but.
Yeah, well, listen, we did the same thing with The Walking Dead. Whenever we were watching Walking Dead at the time, we went insane. There was a Walgreens right next to her work, and she would go, and every day she would come back. She's like, "Oh man, I got the double," or "Oh, I got the double." And so whenever she would get something new, it was just like, "Oh, I got this one," and I was like, "Damn it!" I was like, "Now she got me into it." So I was going every chance I was off. I was always going to the Walgreens. or to a CVS or anywhere where they had minis, and I was buying them.
Nice.
But we had to pump the brakes on that real quick.
Part of the trouble at working at GameStop was the fact that everything that you want is right there.
Yeah.
And you get a discount on it. So it's like, but I'm getting it cheaper than normal.
Part of the trouble is that I'm still there.
Yeah.
Do you get
Part
to
of the trouble is I kind of want to go back.
Do you get to put stuff aside for yourself, or you're not allowed to do that?
No.
I feel attacked personally. You know what? I was looking forward to this, and I'm not anymore.
Hey, I would do the same thing. Way back in the day, I used to work at Walmart, like 99, 98, a long time ago. But I used to do the same thing, man. Back then, it wasn't a big deal. It was like people would come in asking for Hot Wheels and like Power of the Force.
It's different
now.
Yeah.
But
it's a lot different now. So
it's all good.
Yeah. Let me
actually. You got any GA spots open over there?
Dude, I can't even get hours for my ASL. That's how bad it is right now.
I'm just bored.
Give me a minute.
So what's up, man?
Yeah. Not a whole lot, man. Crazy times we live in, eh?
Yeah, it's a little crazy. I'm just glad to find some more people here in town that are doing podcasting.
Yeah, it's actually what I'm going to school for.
Really? Like broadcasting?
Yeah, well, no, it's comedic communication, so it kind of covers all the bases.
Nice. Yeah, if I could go back to school again, I would, but too busy with 3 kids, 2 in high school now. And,
oh, Lord.
Yeah, I got a senior going in this year, a freshman going in this year, and then I have a 6th grader.
I have one that's going into 7th grade, one that's starting kindergarten, and then a baby.
Nice. I miss the babies, but
I never have. So 2 of them aren't mine. The 2 oldest aren't mine technically. So I missed their baby stages. But so I get to try this with my baby for the first time because I've never done anything like it. So it's been it's a ride to say the least.
Fun. I'll tell you, you'll miss these days later on. So.
I'm sure. I see how like my middle the 5-year-old Wesley, I see how he's growing, and I see how like he's gone from this little tiny no talking toddler to this mouthy little sumbitch that I want to slap on a regular basis.
I just like them.
I don't love him any less. I mean, he's taken more after me than he takes after his own dad. And he sees his dad every other weekend, but it's just, he's with me most of the time.
Yeah.
So he gets that smart ass from me, and half the time I'm laughing, the other half I'm like, shut your mouth. It's great. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. What are you working on, Leo?
Looking at Wednesday's comics. But I probably shouldn't, so I'm gonna get off of there. I've been setting aside trade paperbacks, and I went through some comic books today and stuff that I was just like, because I went from, there's some stuff that I'll do single issues now, but now it's just like I need to stick to volumes. It's better that way. Gideon Falls was one of them, which has been a big hit. Oblivion Song. Which are 2 big ones that I like, but they're already like in issues 20. They're in the 20s right now, so that's probably volumes 4 now, more or less. So I'm just at this point, I'm just like, I got to cut back on the issues. I was like, I have to do volumes now. It's a lot easier for me that way.
Yeah.
So I'll stick to miniseries for like issues 1 through 6 or whatever, and then the miniseries is done. Perfect example: Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover. Excellent miniseries, 6 issues, got a few variants for a couple of issues, and like I was happy with that. Everything else is like some of them like there's another one called Something Is Killing the Children, which is really good by Boom Studios, who does the Power Rangers comics. They had a hit with that one. They had a hit with Once and Future, which is kind of based on Excalibur. I couldn't really get into it at first. I was like, okay, and then I was just like that. It just kind of became a real quick dry heave for me. So I was like, I'm done with this one. But Something is Killing the Children. That one's really interesting. It's really good. What
would you classify it as far as what
horror, thriller, mystery? Yeah, definitely. It's monster related, so definitely horror.
That's what I was hoping you were going to say.
yeah, it's good. It's real good. That's one of the ones that I have where it's issue per issue. So that one is one of those things where like that series is one of the ones where I don't want to do a paperback. I want to do the issues because the covers look really, really cool. Some of the variants look really sweet. So, yeah. But I've been parting a lot with some trade paperbacks. I'm looking over here to my left because there's just some stuff that I'm just like, there's some stuff I could probably part with there too. So the last few weeks has just been just as much crap as I can get out of my loft as possible and out of my storage unit.
I'm half tempted to take my two shelves of Marvel Legends, throw them in a box, and throw them online for $2,000 and see what I get.
I don't know.
Those are the ones that I want gone because those are the ones that take up so much of my space.
Yeah, I've got a few hanging here in the loft, but I'm mainly focusing for Legends. I'm mainly focusing on X-Men, like the X-Men line that you got me, that cable you got me for my birthday.
Yeah.
So those are the ones where those are the only ones that I'm really focusing on right now. I actually got a brown suit Wolverine on Mercari. A little more than what I wanted to pay for it, but
I think
it was a must-have.
I think everybody's doing some sort of purge nowadays of figures. Like I said, now I'm just trying to concentrate just on Batman. That's why I got that figure from you.
Yeah. I'll keep you posted because I have a ton of a ton of Batman Hot Wheels. Like I got a large bin and another like half bin. Full of just Hot Wheels, so I might keep you guys in the loop because I love my Batman stuff. There's a lot of Batman stuff I'm keeping.
I have one.
Yeah, I have that one.
Chrome one.
I have that one. Mm-hmm.
It's literally only Hot Wheels I own.
Oh, I got. Oh my God, I'm afraid to pull out the bin. it's literally right under me. It's on the futon. It's right under the futon.
You're kicking it right now, aren't you? You're like,
I'm not. I don't even know where it's at. Where is it? Oh,
so would you guys say you've always been somewhat of a collector of things? Or how far as you can remember, you've started collecting?
No.
Is it more in your like adulthood?
Yes. And it was different for me because where I came from, there was no mini malls, there was no shopping malls, like all of that was an hour away from me. So I was very much into movies. So, I had my little stash of movies or whatever. Little knickknacks, little trinkets here of stuff that I liked. It wasn't until I moved over here when I got a job and I was like, okay, I'm making income. Yeah. Now I can go get my own shit. Now everything that I missed out on, or not missed out on, but now I have access because I'm in San Antonio now. I have a job now. I have access to a very large world of where I can get stuff: comic book shops, collector shops, comic cons, flea markets. We didn't have that where I'm from. So it was completely different. Now in my adulthood, or adulthood, it's different. Yeah. And a lot of it had to do with the access of stores and little mom and pop shops and stuff like that. The Comic Cons, the Traders Village, all the flea markets. Now it's different for me because now I have full access to that. Whenever as a kid I didn't, because we didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
So.
I've had this discussion before, when you're a kid, you can get things here and there, but you don't get everything that you want. And I think when you're an adult, either it's nostalgia or just you just have the opportunity, the income now, and just to say, hey, you know what, I want that for myself now. And
Right. What is this?
I had a very nice, beneficial childhood. So I got pretty much everything I wanted growing up until I hit my teens when shit started getting rocky. But my mom has purged my stuff more than once. I had the entire original collection, re-release for our time, original collection of Star Wars figures, including the Millennium Falcon and everything. And, I'd get in trouble and she'd take my shit away and it would end up disappearing. And so, I can remember as a kid going through multiple bins looking for something specific that I knew I had somewhere that I wanted to play with. So it's always been in my blood. But I find now as I'm growing older, I'm like, I've got so much stuff. What am I going to do with it all? And I feel like my midlife crisis is going to be me purging through all my shit. Because there's nothing else. Like every once in a while I'll come across something that I just can't say no to.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, 9 times out of 10, I'm just like, I don't really need this. Like that's specifically all the Marvel Legends. I've stopped collecting them altogether because I don't care.
It was, for me, it was like an epiphany. And I had this about 3 weeks ago. I went into the storage unit and I had we had 2 of them under our names, but one of them was, as Ian knows, Esteban's. It was Esteban because Esteban was here with Chloe and he was living at my girlfriend's mother and her, and so they were staying with us for a little while. They had the large unit. So they left and I moved everything in there. So in the process of doing it, the smaller unit that I don't know how I managed, but I managed the Tetris skills that I have acquired in the last 20 years really came in handy. So I start moving the boxes out and I start moving, and I get to one of the bins, one of my larger bins at the moment that's just full of pops, full of the Funko vinyls. And I see some of them are kind of, this is a normal box, right? So it starts going, they start bending out this way because of how much weight is coming out.
Right.
So the back of them, so the backs of the boxes start to bow out. And I'm just like, this isn't good. Like that's where I had like a come to Jesus moment. And I was hearing Dr. Phil tell me, you need to change your habits. And I was just like, yeah, I got to do this. I was like, I can't. Because there were some pops that they weren't really damaged, they didn't go through severe, damages, but it was like, if this is starting to happen now, I need to take care of this now before it gets in. Melissa's over here like, you're a hoarder. I'm like, no. I was like, my sister's a hoarder. I was like, it's a completely different situation. I was like, because I can part with shit, and if I part with it and I'm okay with it, I'm okay with it. My sister has it's a hoarder's a hoarder whenever they find stuff and they keep it, and they might not even have a significant meaning to it. They just want it.
Right. Yeah, just keep it, to keep it.
Right. Yeah. So that in the process of moving all that stuff, that's where I was like, this has got to stop. Like this is gonna have to stop. So a lot of the pops went, a lot of these little trinkets and little Funko mystery minis and the trade paperbacks and stuff like that, and stuff's been clearing out. So I mean it's working. There's still a ton of stuff that I have in the storage unit, but it was one of those things. I was like, I need to do this now. And again, this just kind of went in hand because Ian brought up Ian was talking about it, like, it comes to a point where if you're okay to part with it, then more power to you, because now you're giving that service. Somebody else, I mean, whoever you give this stuff to or you sell it to, they're doing you that service because you've appreciated that item for a little bit. Now these people whoever you sell this item to or give it away to, they can appreciate it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's pass forward. There we go. Kind of.
You guys, well, Ian, you talk about Persian stuff from when you were a kid and whatnot. What do you think about all the like vintage stuff like being re-released, like the He-Man recently, and they've been doing Transformers for a little bit now. I don't know. Can you appreciate the remakes or
I can. I absolutely can, and that's because I am all about posability. My biggest pet peeve with 95% of all of my toys up until this date has been the fact that I couldn't pose them in the ways that I wanted to. So jumping on that train, absolutely, I'm behind it 100%. I can't not, because I always liked He-Man. I never collected any of it because I couldn't pose them. Right. They stood there like, this all the time. But now when I saw Super 7s, I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting on board with this.
Ooh. You think that diminishes the value of the vintage stuff, or is there still?
I don't, because I think there are two different types of people that are collecting these. I think there's people like me who are collecting the new stuff for the posability and for all of this. And then I think there's the vintage collector group that specifically wants what they had when they were kids.
And then G.I. Joe now. Did you guys pick up on any of those G.I. Joes?
I didn't, but I got some at my store the other day.
I've had no luck. I didn't get any pre-orders. I haven't seen any.
I got some at my store, man. I got some.
What do you have at your store right now?
If they haven't sold, I can't remember the names. I think one of them was Duke.
Okay.
Blonde hair.
Yeah.
I think it was Duke. I'm not sure. I wasn't a fan of G.I. Joe.
So Duke,
Heavy Duty. I don't know who.
Snake Eyes and Scarlet that are the first.
I got Snake Eyes. He's the one in black, right?
Yeah.
I got him. I got Duke, and I think I got Heavy Duty. That's all I've gotten.
To me,
so far.
As far as the re-releases, like these, I really like, because the old G.I. Joes, there's a lot of collectors out there, but they're too small, especially for nowadays. You're talking about posing and stuff, man.
Oh!
This 6-inch line is great.
What'd you do?
I knocked over so many. Oh no! I was reaching for my Joes and I knocked over. In the process, my Bloodborne figure.
Y'all want to see what an avalanche looks like?
Yeah. All three of my gears, guys. Okay. Stand up, Captain America. Don't be an asshole. Duke.
Nice.
Yeah, Duke. You have a duty? Oh, I left him up there. And Snake Eyes. I can't stand this, though. This horribly flimsy bullshit of articulation. I have some words. Same with McFarlane, and some of his stuff is pretty good, but the fact that I cannot stand this motherfucker up without a stand, there's nothing special. His ankle joints just suck. That is one thing about the whole toy era that's really been pissing me off, is they're getting extremely lax in how they put the figures together, how they're manufactured, how they come out, and that's probably why I'm spending more money on like Revotech and the Amazing Yamaguchi and all those, because they're meant to last. They're not meant to fall apart in 5 to 10 days. Like these are from Hasbro and everything. And that's another reason I'm out of Marvel Legends. I just can't do it. They're just flimsy and crappy, and I should not be able to do that with his legs.
I hear you.
I was about to go off on a rant. It pisses me off so much.
Do you get off in
so much of my money?
Do you get off onto any other toy podcasts?
Me, no.
Me neither.
I'm part of.
I haven't.
So my show runs on my own feed, but I'm also part of a network that my show runs on called the Raw Live Unedited Podcasting Network. And we have a show on there. They have their own feed as well, but they're called the Toy Migos. Their show's called They're Not Dolls. and those guys are real. Those guys are real good. They break down. They have a show every week. They break down all the new stuff coming out. You know, you should follow them on IG, Facebook. They have their own Facebook group as well. But yeah, they break down all that stuff.
I have to look into them.
So speaking of podcasting, though, right? So Leo, Nerd Spew, right? So
Right.
I know it's been a while, right? But tell us a little bit about Nerd Spew and what's that about.
So that was kind of it was an idea, and it was an idea that I had in mind for years. I wasn't working, so well. I mean, easily it started. I wasn't working, so I had no money for the equipment. I had the laptop, but I didn't have everything else. And it was just an idea, like, oh man, like it'd be nice to start my own podcast and do this, that, or whatever. And one day, I don't know what Melissa and we were talking about something. We were downstairs, and I don't know if it was just like, man, I wish I could do this, or I wish I could do that. And I was like, I kind of always wanted to start a podcast. And she's like, you should do it. And it kind of, I was just like, man, I was like, I don't know. She's like, yeah. She's like, you have pretty much the basic essentials that you need, which is a laptop and, you know, a headset, which is what I use this one. I use this one for gaming too, my Turtle Beach. And it kind of just went from there. So I started it off, had a lot of friends that tuned in. I think it went okay. It was a little harder as a single individual to do it,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
But I think if you do, you know, depending on your topics, depending on the research that you're doing, it all really depends, you know, all of those, you know, quintessential, you know, topics or, you know, events or, you know, tasks, as long as you have enough research, if you have enough, you know, enough to talk about, you know, if you're thorough about it, then talking by yourself isn't much of a problem. It was fun. It was interesting. I still have a bit of a desire to do it. And then it kind of got to a point where, I was getting very lackadaisical. I was getting tired, not because of, you know, I was like, oh man, I got to wake up and do this stupid podcast. No, it was just kind of like, I want to do it, but I started seeing that I didn't have a drive anymore.
Yeah.
So it just kind of just plummeted slowly and slowly and slowly. I think one of the last ones I had done, I didn't do it at all. I just saved it for another day because I was just listening to myself recording and I was just like, this sucks. Like I can't, like I couldn't even get myself into it, to kind of just, you know, just kind of wake up and be like, okay, I'm talking about this today. I need to kind of be lively about it. I was just like, I don't want to do it. Mainly, and just, you know, to give you an idea, the podcast just mainly revolves around everything that, whatever your podcast is. So toys, collectibles, film, TV, pro wrestling, you know, just pretty much anything that I could relate to with Ian or with you or anybody else. Just kind of, you know, just a little snippet, you know, of my everyday life and what I do and what I enjoy doing, and just kind of just sharing it with the world. I mean, yes, sharing it with people that already might know who I am or what I'm about. Yeah. But, you know, just to kind of put more exposure out there for people who don't know, for people who, you know, want to kind of find out more. So that's pretty much what it revolved around. And then came you know, after that came shortly like, I don't feel like I'm reaching out, you know, to enough people, or my topics aren't as interesting or whatever. It just became it became brutal in a sense where I felt like I was beating myself up, and I was just like,
felt like a job.
Think I did. Yeah. I was like, I need to recharge. Yeah, and then just kind of,
that's,
you know,
that's kind of the same deal with me. You know, I listen to a few podcasts and I figure, you know, I can do that, right? Just talk about, I listen to podcasts that they just talk about nothing, and it's amusing, it's fun, and I figured I could do that. I kind of wanted to throw a spin on it. Like I call my podcast Dork Dad Podcast because I wanted to bring my kids into it. My initial plan was have my kids talk about the stuff that I like or movies and stuff, but they just weren't into it. They never got into recording. They didn't want to do it. So again, I just like you, I started on my own, and it's hard talking to yourself for about an hour, you know. Like you say, you start thinking, am I even entertaining? Am I giving stuff that people want to hear? But you know, I was fighting it for a while, and I started doing week to week, and then I got little 2 weeks, a month in between, a couple months in between. But I'm sticking with it. I'm still here. And Ian, you had one too, right? Geek Paradox.
Yep, I sure did. I still do. It's still up. It's still active. I do have a Facebook page as well, which I keep semi up to date. You know, I've got like 5,000 followers on Facebook, but not as many listens on the RSS feed. But still, you know, I keep everybody in the loop. And it's not so much that I got bored or anything, or didn't feel like I was doing well enough. Well, I mean, that's pretty much what it was. I didn't feel like I was putting out quality enough work.
I got you.
Yeah. So I was like, you know, I need to understand this better. I don't know how to edit. I don't understand how that works. You know, maybe I should just go to school and try to figure it out like that. And that's exactly what I did. Though I sat down with the wife and I'm like, hey, I wanted to do this. You told me to go do it. So I did, but I'm having some issues. So how do you feel about me possibly just going to school and getting the full understanding of how it all works? And she's like, absolutely, go do it. And you know, that's what I've done. I've been in school since September, and I've learned so much already that putting together an episode now would actually be pretty easy.
Nice.
I haven't quite got the hang of the full editing that needs to be done as far as a full episode, but for like normalizing the sound and taking away all the background noises and making sure that my audio is clear and crisp that's all easy. It's surprised I couldn't figure it out on my own, but at the same time I didn't have the software that I needed to do it. So
yeah, that's something I would like to try to master, you know, make him sound more professional. But you know, like I said, I'm part of this network called Raw Live and Unedited, and sometimes that's what we do. We just roll with it. But,
yeah, I think that's you know, for a change of pace, I think that's a great idea. Because I think being able to hear people in their natural, you know, element kind of brings an extra piece of depth to the situation.
It's hard, yeah, and it's hard because whatever that Raw Live and Unedited is, it's more natural, you know, where it just free flows. It's free flowing versus, oh, I got to find a topic. I got to do research on it. I got to do this. I got to do that. And now you got to talk about it for, you know, 30 to 40 minutes by yourself, you know, versus talking to you two or in another two people or another three people. And it's just free flows. It's comfortable, you know, and I think that's what podcasts should be. They have to be natural. They have to be comfortable, you know. It's just tough sometimes, and I think that's just, excuse me, I think that's what just really got to me. It just didn't feel all that comfortable, you know, I guess.
It's hard by yourself, and I think that's why another reason I haven't been putting out that many episodes is I've been working with that network, and we made a series of games. So they got different shows on their network. There's at one point there was a horror podcast, but there's the toy podcast, but a number of different podcasts. And among the different shows, I set up we did a Jeopardy style game where we did it over Skype, where you can see the screen and stuff. And here recently we're doing a Family Feud amongst the different shows. So that's been a lot of fun. We still have the championship round for Family Feud coming up to record, but Yeah, just talking to other people is a lot easier than doing it on your own.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
I know when I did one of my episodes with Leo, it's still to this day my highest listened to episode. And it was so nice because we were just sitting there, I'll give you an example. So this month in class has been a career module, which is basically they're helping us put together a portfolio for later on in life. One of the portfolio topics this month was, who's your inspiration for wanting to do what you want to do, which is podcasting. And, we have to list 3 different people or 3 different podcast groups that we, consider to be our inspiration. And we have to write about them. Well, one of the topics, it's this, I don't know if you guys have heard of the Brohio podcast. I don't know if anybody really has. But it's 2 guys. They've been friends since like the 6th grade. And, you can tell they're super raunchy. They're catering more towards adults, so they don't give a fuck. And it's just great. And that's one of the things I had to fill out was one on my paper was why do you look up to these people? And I said, because this is basically what I want. Me and my best friend being who we are, entertaining millions and laughing our asses off.
Yeah.
It's not as fun by yourself, but I mean, you can. One of the other things we had to do was try to look for jobs in our area that we're looking for, and I found quite a few actually. It's just kind of surprised. You can, if you have the right dynamic with people, you can just hop in with anybody and have a good time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, with the game shows, like we just brought in this new show into the network, and just instantly they just melded well with everybody else's. We had a real good time on that episode. One thing I like to do is, like, I've helped people on that network. Like I said, I helped them out with the game shows. We had one guy on there that's a really good artist, and everybody always said, you should put out some T-shirts, right? And I helped him with that. I do have my own website called 3leggedrabbit.com. It's the number 3leggedrabbit.com, where I have I sell shirts and some of the podcast stuff. But like I said, my thing is I really like to help people out. And when I saw you guys on here and you haven't podcasted in a while, so I wanted to put myself out there, bring you guys on, and hopefully get you guys motivated to put out some more episodes.
It's definitely in the wheelhouse for me. It's just finding the time with school and everything. It's been such a nightmare. And the kids going back to school, and and I told all of my 10 followers that I was still going to do this. It's just going to take some time. I wanted to give them good quality stuff, and everybody, the feedback I got from that was really positive. They totally understood. So I mean, that's I'd like to find a partner to do podcast. I'd like to find someone to do podcasting with.
I think at this
you guys
point
should get together.
Yeah, and I think at this point with everything that's going on, I get exposed enough as it is at work, while I'm keeping myself safe and keeping my team safe and trying to make sure that the guests that go into the store are kept safe to the most kept safe to the best of our ability, as a store manager and working retail. For me, I don't have a problem, going to, whoever's house, to record or whatever. That's fine. My thing is more like I don't want to do it because of how, of me working in retail and me being exposed. So it's not out of, he doesn't want to do it. That's why he's not. No, it's just like I want to respect y'all's homes by not going over there, because of my exposure to other people. And I mean, with the whole thing being asymptomatic and everything like that, again, I monitor myself on an everyday basis. I just make sure that I'm okay whenever I come home, because I've got kids, making sure that people on my team are doing, being responsible and not doing anything foolish. Because if they are and they catch something, well, guess what? You're not coming to work for like a month.
Honestly, though, this is the best way right here over Skype.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
The main show, they're called the weekly show on that network. Not everybody's together. You got a couple guys from California, two different sides of California. You got one guy in Baltimore, one guy in New Jersey, one guy in Washington. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be one-on-one. It's nice, but yeah, I found out this is the best way, especially right now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm all for it, man. I told Melissa about it. She was really excited. She's like, "That's really cool." She's like, "Are you gonna do it?" I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I was like, "You got 3 guys over video talk about a bunch of shit from the 80s and the 90s and how we can't let that go." You know, like I'm the same with music. Like my 13-year-old. Well, Melissa's those are her kids, and of course, like Ian. I've taken them in as my own. So like Aiden, he'll listen to this, that, or whatever. I'm just like, bro, I was like, I don't even know what you're listening to. I was like, the next time you dab, you're gonna be living on the streets.
Thank God Haley doesn't dab.
I'm tired of TikTok.
So it's just different, but like I'm still stuck in the 90s. I'll listen to Jim Blossoms and Alice in Chains and Soundgarden and Stone Temple and all of these groups from the 90s, I'm just still stuck there.
Okay, hold on, Leo. Have you heard? So I came across this entirely by accident because it was on TikTok the other day, and this dude put up this video of Back in Black and Queen together. Have you heard this?
I have not, but I saw a TikTok of Earth, TikTok. Wind and Fire mashed with Metallica, and it was Enter Sandman.
Okay, so you've got to hear at least the beginning of this. It is fabulous, is the best possible way I can tell you. Listen, just wait. I'm about to blow your fucking mind right now. Okay, I was stoned out of my mind, sitting here in my office getting ready to take a shower, and this popped up, and I'm like, no, this isn't real. This can't be real. I woke her up. She was asleep. I'm like, babe, you gotta hear this. I gotta tell somebody, and nobody's awake. So just hear this. Mamas. Ignore the dude in the beginning. Mamas. Baby mamas. Yeah, go like this.
Nice.
Oh shit.
Nice.
Oh my God. And
there's
so many more. There are so many more out there. It's ridiculous. I'm like, oh my God. My life.
The Sandman, Earth, Wind and Fire one was actually really good.
Yeah, I heard that one too.
I didn't jump in. I didn't stay on it very long, but it was good.
Are you guys big concert goers? Do you miss concerts?
Oh yeah.
I'm very introverted. The only concert I've ever been to was 9 Inch Nails way back in the day. I was going to go to Disturbed last time they were here, but at the last minute I just backed out because I
remember that
there was too many people. Metallica's doing that thing where they're doing the drive-in, and I'm seriously considering that because I can be in my own vehicle and safe away from psychos.
I thought about that.
So I might do that.
I thought about that. It's $115 per carload.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, it's Metallica though. Are you really surprised?
Yeah, no. I've seen them. I saw them. Was it 2006, 2007? I think.
I saw him 7. I saw him in November of 7, and then the following September in 08, and they had come here to San Antonio. I went to the show in Houston, and then I went to the show. I had floor tickets to the show here, and then I got Melissa tickets for Valentine's Day. I think the last time they were here, which was 3 years ago, something like that. More or less. 4 years ago, it was here. But that was my third time seeing them, and that was her first time seeing them, and that's her favorite band. So
because that's when I was going to go
she flipped her
too.
lid.
That's when I was going to go too, and then Brittany wouldn't fucking give me the money. Wouldn't give me my money. She wouldn't give me my money to go.
I'm happy she's out of
the
everybody's lives.
last concert What's the last concert you've seen?
Ooh.
Didn't you go to...
Holy shit, I can't remember. I think it was Trivium. No.
No. Didn't you go to Trans-Siberian?
Yes, I think that might have been the last one.
Or was it the one that did the orchestra, did all the video game songs?
No. It was Trans-Siberian. I think that was the last concert I went to. It was definitely one of the last ones, I think. That was a few years ago. That was a couple of years back. We were still living at the apartments. That must have been like maybe 3 years ago, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was just this past year. Me and my son, we went to Austin to go see Tenacious D.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm glad my son's kind of like he's at the age now. Well, he's a senior now, but he's at the age where he likes going, and I like going with him. So, like, you want to go to this concert? Let's go. Let's do this. Saw Tenacious D. I took him here to the Aztec. We saw one of my favorite bands from the 90s, Real Big Fish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was an awesome show.
How is Jack Black on stage?
He's just the way you would think he is.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. And
I've been watching his YouTube and his other stuff, and it's just hilarious. I love it.
And we had general admission, so we were like pretty close to the stage. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. I want to say Trans-Siberian was the last one. Now that I'm thinking about it, it could have very well been Trivium. I think we went to go see Trivium. That must have been a couple of years ago. It's been a while. I really can't even remember. So it's been so long. What are we, like March 637th?
Something like that.
I don't even know.
So you guys talk about Marvel and Batman and all G.I. Joes, all this stuff. Are you guys into Star Wars at all?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't. I have the movies, but it's been so long since I've sat down to watch them. Melissa wants to have a marathon, but we never. But then again,
what are you waiting for?
We've been planning a marathon for the last 3 years, and it never happened.
I was so bummed out because this summer we were gonna go visit my dad. I have family in California. We were gonna plan this whole trip. We're gonna go to Disneyland and everything, and and then everything hit. Everything.
That's too funny.
Yeah, it's this new toy I got. Can add sound effects.
I like that. That is cool. I'm gonna have to steal that from you if I start my own podcast. Or I'll just do it by myself. Din, 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 din.
But yeah, I was bummed out. Speaking of Star Wars, have you I saw they just said they're gonna finally, supposedly, start filming the Kenobi series next month.
I'll believe it when I see pictures.
I had heard about that.
I mean, they're on and off. So I don't know if I believe that, but supposedly,
I'm just gonna sound like I'm interested and like I know what's going on, but I heard about that.
No, I mean, they're all over the place. They're talking about taking different things from the all of the canon and non-canon and putting stuff together, but every time they put something together, it gets shut down.
Yeah, and then this whole...
Now, originally, that was all Lucas, and that's cool. It's his baby. It's his product, but it's Disney now. I expected to see a lot more by now. Mind you, I'm not complaining. The Mandalorian is probably my favorite TV show active and live right now.
Awesome. It's awesome.
I can't get enough of it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different Mandos in here. of different lines and different genres because I love it. I can't get enough of it.
How do you feel about supposedly bringing in like Ahsoka and some of the Clone Wars characters into the Mandalorian?
I would also be really cool with that. I think every Star Wars story needs a bit of Jedi and Sith in it. It has to. It can't live without it because that's the core of what Star Wars is. So I can absolutely jump on board with that because, again, that's what it needs.
Yeah.
I like stormtroopers.
Okay, here's a question that goes around our network, and we're actually gonna have a big show, like a big triggered show. I don't know what we're gonna call it yet, but we're gonna have a show because we also have a Star Wars podcast called the Sarlacc Digest, and there's always this battle between Star Wars and Marvel, and which is more culturally significant. So if I throw that question at you guys, what would you say?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's yeah, I agree. But I think it's tough, but let me tell you, I think from a comic book perspective, a lot of Marvel's stuff, and I'm taking bits and pieces from Stan Lee's personal thoughts and opinions when a lot of his books started back in the 60s in Timely Comics, because it was Timely Comics before it jumped into Marvel and all of that stuff, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of his books revolved around real life, discrimination, racism,
right,
in
X-Men,
in the States, in the nation. Perfect example, the X-Men.
Yep.
That look at you're in a world where you're looked at differently. You are hated for what you are because of the color of your skin. Oh, Mystique, because you look different from somebody. Oh, Beast, things of that nature. So a lot of what was going on way back when was brought about in his line of comics. I can't say the same about DC because I don't know what DC's agenda was. But
make money.
Exactly.
That was it.
That's all I can really think of, other than trying to compete with Marvel and bring their own form of comics, which, don't get me wrong, they did not. Look at them. They're one of the big three, Marvel, DC, and the third one would be, for me, would be Image Comics, because Image has an insane amount of stuff that's incredible out there. Compared to DC, me personally, I think that DC was more based on, you didn't have your mutants, you didn't have this, that, or whatever, but you had a few gods, like Shazam. Shazam was I think catered or brought about like a god form. You had aliens and Superman and Supergirl, things of that nature. And they even then, so you had some issues like discrimination and racism, because they were aliens. But a lot of their stuff wasn't superhero based. Yes, it's superhero, but you had a lot of these people were just ordinary people. Batman, Bruce Wayne, Oliver Queen, Green Arrow, just regular people. If I'm not mistaken, Hal Jordan, just a regular person, a pilot, found this ring, became the Lantern. A lot of these characters were just everyday normal people with a heightened amount of a heightened skill set. And then they just came about, That's just the way I see it.
So let me flip that coin
compared to Star Wars, though. Marvel and Star Wars. What would you
I'm gonna set this one out.
So I really think in relation,
it's a tough one.
It is. But
that's why we're gonna battle it out on our show.
Yeah, I can't because they both. I think Leo's point, there's a lot of racism and stuff that's drawn in there that's trying to defeat, but there is in Star Wars as well. And there's also in Star Wars the regime, the Empire, the great big bad. So it's kind of hard to pick which would be. I don't know.
I honestly think it kind of changed over maybe this past year. Marvel was probably in the lead, right? Then you had the big end game thing, and it kind of shifted a little. Mandalorian, people started focusing more on Star Wars, because right now we haven't gotten anything from Marvel. Every movie's on hold, everything's on hold, but yeah. It is a tough one.
And here's another factor to that too is the past libraries. There's tons of both.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have a lot of time on their hands. So we could come out of this with completely different numbers than we went into it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it could be we could have gone in with, Star Wars kind of in the lead or Marvel kind of in the lead to now somebody's really in the lead or somebody's just kind of squeaking by. It could go either way.
So if I pose the question that you're in a boat and you have Star Wars and you have Marvel.
Star Wars.
You're keeping Star Wars?
I'm gonna have to go with Marvel just because I'm so out of the loop with Star Wars.
Star Wars is always gonna have a special place in my heart. It was the first thing I ever watched. It was the first sci-fi thing. It was what turned me on to sci-fi in the first place.
I like how you were quick with that decision.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's no question. I will totally dunk Marvel over Star Wars.
Yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of exposure to them up until later for me, up until like the mid 90s, because my stuff came from. Okay, brush your teeth. I'm going to. He's like, I'll brush my teeth. I didn't get exposure until like Batman, until some comic. I don't even, and you know what? I could very well be making this up in my own mind. I don't even really remember when I had any kind of real exposure to Batman, but I was very young. I must have been about Gio's age. I must have been about 5 or 6. Well, he's 7 actually, so roughly around that time frame. So I didn't have any kind of, and I don't know where it came from. Then I remember watching the old Star Wars movies, and then I started seeing Star Wars, and then the Godzilla stuff, a lot of the old Godzilla stuff. So those movies did open up my mind to otherworldly things, outer space, starships. Another TV show that I remember, Lost in Space, was another one that I grew up watching, and I remember the old episodes. I believe it was on TNT, I think, or TBS. It was one of those. Lost in Space was another one. I think it was TNT. Lost in Space was another one that I remember watching growing up as a kid. And that really exposed my mind to otherworldly things and planetaries and planets and aliens and stuff like that. So
I don't have a lot of fond memories of my dad. He wasn't exactly the greatest person in the world, but the first time I watched Star Wars was with him. We watched Empire Strikes Back because that's what came on TV, and he said, "Oh my God, you have to sit down. We're going to watch this right now." And that was the happiest I've ever been with my dad. It was right there at that moment. And I mean, that's probably why I'll always sway more towards Star Wars. But that's what it was. We sat down. I remember it was like bright and sunny outside. We could have been outside playing, but no, we were watching Star Wars. Changed my life forever.
Yep, I feel I have a connection with Star Wars. I was born in '77, so it's like
I was born in '86. So I mean, I'm late to the party, but at the same time, been there the whole time.
Speaking of Godzilla, there's that one right there, Godzilla versus King Kong. I'm going through my Amazon Prime, my Prime Video.
Stop it, Leo. You're gonna spend money.
Look, Spaceballs. I'm gonna put down my watch list. That was another one that kind of. That was another. It was a parody, but that was another one that kind of opened up my mind to intergalactic, a whole different dimension stuff out there. It was a parody, but it was funny. I mean, Spaceballs was another one. That's when I first started picking up on double meanings. Yeah.
That was the movie, and I was like, and you know what that kind of sounds like? And they're like, yeah, that's exactly what. Oh. Whoa!
That's why I lean more towards Star Wars when we're talking about Star Wars and Marvel. It's like I think people in general, the general public, recognize Star Wars more than you would a Marvel character. Maybe not. Maybe not now. Nowadays, yeah. Maybe not. That's not true. But before Iron Man, who knew the hell Iron Man was?
Right.
Even me when it first came out, I was the only
ones.
Yeah, even me when it first came out.
That I can agree with.
Yeah.
I can definitely agree with that. I mean, just because there's more. Marvel has more longevity because they've been around since the '60s, but. Unless you mention something like immediately, and somebody, if it's Star Wars related, somebody will pick it up like that.
Yeah.
Even people that don't like Star Wars know Star Wars.
Exactly.
They've watched it. They've watched all of them, whether they tell you they have or not. They have because you have to. It's a staple. You can't not.
And it's one of those things where if they might not know who the character is, if they can't remember the name, if they can't pronounce the name, it's the thing with the big four legs. That's a giant. Oh, the AT-AT. Oh yeah, that thing.
Mm-hmm.
They pick it up really really quick. So that I can definitely everything that was mentioned in that part I can definitely agree with.
Okay, so Leo, you're going through your Netflix lineup. Is there any shows or movies you watched recently
So I just finished. Funny that you bring that up. I just finished Swamp Thing.
Is that good?
It's good. I'm pissed that they canceled it.
Canceled it
because So what happened was I don't know,
over budget or something, right?
I don't know if it was over budget. I don't know if it was just creative differences, but. I just finished Swamp Thing today. I started watching it, I think, yesterday or the day before. And I finished it. And it is excellent. I loved it. I love Swamp Thing. Very underrated character in the DC Universe line. It was in the subsidiary. It was with Vertigo Comics, which is a subsidiary of DC. So that was pretty much like the black label, the not suitable for children. And that label brought about so many promising characters and roles in Constantine and Swamp Thing. Constantine, which was like the longest running, I think it was that one or it was Swamp Thing. It was either one of those two, the longest running comic series in, I think, DC's history. Something like that. But I just finished Swamp Thing. It is really good. The acting was good. I can probably say the acting, except one character was just really crappy acting. But the plot was good. Doesn't start off slow. By the second episode, you already have Alec Holland turning into the Swamp Thing, and I'm just like, holy shit! Like that was quick.
Wow.
But it picks up. It picks up. I'm just very disappointed that there's only one season of this. So I'm hoping that it's going to be difficult now with the pandemic going on, but I'm hoping that HBO Max or Netflix or man, I don't know. I was thinking about somebody else, another company, CW. One of these picks up this show. It would not be suitable for CW because there's F-bombs and stuff like that in there. Like this is dark. Like Swamp Thing is dark, and the way it should be. So HBO Max would definitely be something, or Netflix would definitely be a place where this show needs to be.
Is that where you watched it? HBO Max?
I haven't, but I've heard a lot of really promising things about it.
Did you catch it on? What did you watch it on? Did you?
I bought it.
Okay.
So I bought the Blu-ray. I bought the Blu-ray set. It was like $12.99 on Amazon.
Because I know it premiered on that DC app. I wasn't buying that though.
So, well, they actually just changed it. So now it's going to be strictly comics.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So all of DC Universe's shows, from my understanding, are going to HBO Max. And the app is going to be a digital... the app has now become a digital access point for comics. Just kind of like I think Marvel just started a new comics app. It's called Marvel Unlimited or something. And it's just this huge monumentous, just library of digital comics for Marvel. So I think Jim Lee, if I'm not mistaken, announced that yesterday. So all the shows that they did are now going to be a part of HBO Max. But
great, another app I have to buy.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where it's like, man, dude, it was so good. That was good. Melissa and I watched Lock and Key.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, and I talked to a friend of mine, Rob. He actually runs a comic. Well, he runs it, but the guy the owner built Mr. Morales, William Morales. He's out in Houston. So
real nice guy.
Yeah, Bill. He runs a Gravity Damage Collectibles off of Babcock Hebner. And Rob, I was talking to Rob the other day, and I don't know what he was watching, but he had a hardcover of Volume 1 of Lock and Key, and I bought it like on the spot. It was an impulse buy. I should have never bought that, but I bought it. So I was just like, I'm taking. He's like, is that Lock and Key? He's like, yeah. I was like, I'm taking it. He told me, he's like, this is the only show I've watched where the show was better than the book. I can think of other platforms. Witcher, from my understanding, the game was a lot better than the book. So much so where the author was so pissed that he wasn't getting like some kind of royalties from it.
He did throw a fit because the video game absolutely brought Geralt to life.
Yeah.
The books in their own right are good. They plant a firm seed for what is now, The Witcher.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think if there wasn't one, there wouldn't be the other. And that
Lock and Key was good. Rob said the same thing. This was the only one where the show was better than what I was reading. So that was another one that we recently finished. It was really good. I had a lot of fun with it.
I've started season 2 of Umbrella Academy. I've only got through the first episode though.
Yeah, it's good.
The wife and I are watching that and cursed.
What do you think so far? I love that show.
They're both great. I mean, they're both fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
We watched the first episode of Umbrella Academy, and of course, just right out of the gate, it's just right back into action, right back into everything, and you have no idea what the hell's going on, and it's great.
Yeah,
love
it. I love it.
And Cursed is just, Merlin, Excalibur, a female beforehand. I wonder how many people are actually shitting their pants over that.
I haven't seen that.
So the premise is it's before King Arthur. And the swords already existed. It's already been there. It's already been a thing. And the king that's currently residing is Arthur, but not the right Arthur. And Merlin, did you guys watch Vikings?
But I heard really good stuff about
season.
The Floki. Do you know who Floki is?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, he's Merlin.
Okay.
It's perfect.
I could buy that.
Yeah, I mean, when we watched the first episode, I'm like, wait a minute. And then I looked online and I was like, oh my God, it is. But yeah, no, it's really good. It's, so before the real King Arthur and Excalibur put together or whatever, the fairy folk are trying to take care of Excalibur, and I'm still not totally sure what all's going on. But this girl who's a fairy or a fae uses it. She's used it a couple times now in the first few episodes. So and the reason I said I wonder how many people are out there shitting their pants is because how many misogynistic men are out there throwing a fucking fit because a woman is holding their idol's sword, Like, what do you mean a woman's holding it? No, that's not allowed. But no, yeah, Lock and Key's great.
I started watching Doom Patrol because I bought that one too. That one was 50. Yeah, that one I heard got really, really good critically acclaimed reviews. I started watching. I saw the first episode, and the first episode was interesting to say the least.
I can't get into anything DC except for Batman. That's just me.
A lot of surprisingly, if you have not seen any of the animated films, whether it doesn't have to be Batman related,
the Apocalypse,
Suicide Squad, anything like that, those are all really good.
Well, you know what else is really good? I know. I'm sorry. I'm totally jumping back to the other topic, but October Faction. If you haven't seen that, watch it. Oh my god,
I haven't seen that one yet.
No.
it's good. It's good. It's like horror action awesomeness.
Yeah, no, anything animated that I have that DC does, if they did the same, if they inputted the same
Effort.
effort, right, that they did, that they, and they're getting there.
They got a long way to go.
But you can't. It's not a race. This isn't a matter of.
I want to be alive to see it, Leo.
Dude,
It is a race, damn it.
Look,
how do you feel about the DC movies? I mean, the live
I don't
action
hate
movies.
any of them. I'm one of those people that I don't look for the mistakes. I just enjoy the movie. Except one exception, Jared Leto, Joker, I hate. I can't stand it.
I concur.
The cartoon Joker was perfect. He was just the right amount of crazy. Jared Leto is way on the other end, down the spectrum by retard.
I mean, the movie, I personally don't think. I have nothing against Jared Leto. I love his music. I think he can be a great actor in some roles.
Just Joker. That's it.
But
no problem.
I really, his addition in the film was just odd, because yes, he had to save Harley, and we all know the situations between them two or whatever. Yeah, great, okay, whatever. You're not in the Suicide Squad. Like, what are you doing here? And it was just awkward. Like, I get it. I get it. Joker was trying to get Harley from the Suicide Squad. That way she lives, trying to save her. I get that. But
he wouldn't do that.
It was just so, yes, with what Ian said. And it was just so weird. It was like the moments where he would come out, and the scenes and the clips were just so weird. It just didn't go with the film. The movie was great. We had a blast. I loved it.
Supposedly they cut out a lot of his stuff.
But it was just so odd. Just like, it just doesn't fit.
But like, moving forward though, how do you feel about, I know they're still talking about some sort of multiverse, or about bringing in other.
Oh, I'm all for it. So much so where they've
Flashpoint story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's where I was actually going to get to, where they've even tried. They're in talks to trying to get Michael Keaton to reprise his role as Batman in a different multiverse, which I am 100% for.
Now hold on. What universe are you okay for it in?
Well, I mean, this is what I don't know, because of
there's only one answer.
What do you mean? What universe?
Batman Beyond. He needs to be the old Batman. He needs to be Terry.
Oh, well, I didn't watch Batman Beyond, so I didn't watch that. See, someone's triggered.
He's leaving the room.
Yeah, I didn't. I watched the animated series. I watched the animated series, but I didn't continue. It was part of that. It was part of that process. Whenever that was going on, where I stopped watching Power Rangers, and that was one of them. I didn't watch Spider-Man anymore after a certain point in my.
I stopped watching Power Rangers after Turbo.
I stopped watching after Zeo. It was Zeo, and I was done. And then Batman animated series, loved it. Didn't watch Beyond.
I own it because I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it for the rest of my life.
I don't know.
I would love him in that role. But I don't know if that's what he's being signed up for. I mean, I don't know.
He's probably.
I don't know what DC's doing.
For what's it called? Not year one. The old fat Batman.
Oh, okay.
Dark
so
Knight.
you're talking about the 70s, 80s from Dark Knight Returns.
Yes. That's who I think that they're gonna sign him for.
Because he's supposed to be in the Flash movie, so I think it's got to be some kind of Flashpoint.
It's gonna be in regards to it. Yeah.
Maybe they're gonna make him Thomas Wayne.
That's actually what I was gonna follow up with right now. I thought it, but you said it. So that's what I was thinking too.
I wouldn't hate that. I don't think
it would be interesting. I really think it would be interesting. I loved his role. His comeback into cinema has been great. You know, his role as the Vulture in Spider-Man was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, he was so good.
He was so good. Yeah, and then his they had that little I think it was like a Sundance Festival film. It got an award. Birdman, I think was one of them, and the founder, which was based around McDonald's, Ray Kroc, and that was on Netflix. But I never really got around to watching it. I need to. I'm not sure if it's still on there, but I was starting to watch it. And I was going to see it, but his comeback into cinema and the roles that he's gotten, not to mention, I believe another inclusion or a role in, I guess, the third Spider-Man film with Tom Holland, I think was also discussed as well, if I'm not mistaken. So, the idea of him in Marvel movies and you know is really, really cool. But now I'm starting to wonder, well, you know, what are they going to do with this multiverse Flashpoint film, you know, that they have in hand? I'm excited for it though.
Hopefully,
I really am excited for it.
Hopefully they have some kind of plan. Like, I'm rooting for DC, but everything they come out with is just garbage. Except
Wonder Woman was great. Loved Aquaman. I'm actually.
I didn't like Aquaman.
I was really impressed with Wonder Woman. I was really impressed with that film. I'm not a big Wonder Woman fan, but I was really, really thrilled with the way that movie turned out.
So I can see your point. Leo is always, you know, he's on the level of Marvel. I can see the not so much his point. I understand where you're coming from. And that goes back to me again being able to watch the whole movie and just enjoy it. But no, I totally understand where you're coming from as far as not liking anything other than Batman. I can totally understand it. My wife's like that. You know, she'll watch it just to appease me, but I can tell when she just hates it.
Again, I think it's just another one of those, as a child, you know, Batman really hit me. I remember in the summer '89, I was with my dad in California and took me to see that movie. I remember waiting in the line to go watch that movie. Just '89 Batman just holds a special place in my heart. But
absolutely, man, that was the first Batman I saw. I was like 5. It was glorious.
Yeah.
And that's what started me down my road of being a very goth, antisocial freak. But I'm really okay with it.
Yeah, no, I mean that's my first Batman was Keaton. Then I slowly started learning the exposure of, you know, there's a lot of reruns of Batman 66 with Adam West and Burt Ward. And I had a small appreciation for that because there's a lot of great actors in there, you know, Frank Gorshin, who's the Riddler, Cesar Romero, the Joker, you know, all these guys. And I like certain aspects of that film, but for me, it's always been Keaton. I was not a fan of Kilmer or Clooney as Batman.
Loved them.
I like them. I have respect for them because they've done great stuff. I was just not a fan of them under the cowl. Batfleck, I was very. Oh man, I was on eggshells. And then I was like, okay, well, I started picturing him in the cowl. He's got the butt chin, so that works. And then his role in Batman versus Superman, the movie was dark, but it was like a very forcing dark. And again, going back to Zack Snyder, going back to the comment I said earlier, they're trying to speed things up. You're not going to catch up to Marvel, dude. And that's okay. You don't have to.
Pace, and
you don't have to. Work at your own pace. Take a page out of Patty Jenkins' book with what she did with Wonder Woman and just run with it and just create something great that everybody can enjoy. I loved Wonder Woman. Suicide Squad was good. Aquaman was good. You know, but Batman versus Superman, unless you did not see the Ultimate Edition, it wasn't going to make very much sense to you.
Okay, I can see where all this is going. I'm going to say it right now. I gave Ben Affleck a chance for one reason and one reason only, and that was because Kevin Smith is probably one of my all-time top 10 idols, and he is also the biggest Batman freak on the planet. And if he said it was okay, I had to trust him.
I agree.
Now, Twilight Boy, I still can't be okay with that. Robert Pattinson is Batman.
He's a good actor, though. He's a good actor, and I think the direction.
But I can't see him in any. You know what I need to do? I need to go watch his other movies because I only think of him as Edward from Twilight. I need to watch his other movies, and maybe I'll change my mind.
If they're going away, I think they're going a more dark, like a truly detective story. I think he'll be all right.
I've seen snippets of Twilight, but I've heard otherwise from other film roles he had. So it's like I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I was the same with Ben Affleck, but I also have to agree with what Ian said. I'm a big Kevin Smith fan. I like Kevin Smith, the stuff he's done, Chasing Amy, Mallrats, all that stuff was great. Clerks. I want DC to do good. And I think they've done good. Not Marvel good, but they're getting there. And like I said,
the redheaded stepchild.
You'll never
be Marvel good.
It's
get out of my kitchen.
It's take it at your own pace. And I think as long as you're doing that and you're getting to the
fucking
retarded. As long as they're going about it in their own shape and form and their own pace, and they're producing a quality product, I think they're going to be okay. But at the end of the day, it's a tale of the tortoise and the hare. I just don't know if the tortoise is going to beat the hare in this one, and I don't think they will.
Only time will tell. But
exactly,
I'm being optimistic for the Batman just because I'm a fan.
Oh yeah, I'm being optimistic for DC in general. Shazam was also. I can't believe I forgot Shazam. Shazam was great. I had a lot of fun with Shazam.
I like Shazam.
I'm making an effort for.
I loved it. I loved Shazam.
I think it was hilarious.
It was so funny.
I had somebody watch and they came and told me that it was the worst movie they'd ever seen, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
Shazam.
It is hilarious.
Shazam
was so good.
Was DC's best attempt at a Marvel movie. That's my.
It was. I loved it. I think me and Melissa went to go watch it. I don't think the kids were with us, but we watched it and we really enjoyed it.
Leslie loves it.
Yeah, it's for me. It's Wonder Woman, Shazam, and then everything else that came afterwards. Christopher Nolan Batman films were awesome though. I mean, I can't put that. I mean, the first one was good. By the time I got to the third one, it just didn't have the same feel.
Right, I agree 100%.
But the first two were good.
As a Batman fan, I'm not a fan of Christian Bale Batman though.
I can't do the voice thing. That
bothers me. It bothers me.
Yeah, I love Christian Bale. He does some great stuff.
Good for you.
I mean, I'm not wearing hockey pads. I mean, I was just like,
I can still remember his lip.
Yeah, it was just. I mean, I was like, there was no need for that. Like, why didn't you use like a voice changer like Batfleck or something? Like, it was pretty brutal. It wasn't horrible, but it was not good.
All right, I think I've taken up enough of your time, but before we go, I like to end with a little something I call Dork Dad Questions, where I just kind of run through 10 questions. No right or wrong answer, just kind of some are silly, some are a little serious, but hopefully
yes,
it's some fun.
No, yes, and every second Saturday of the month.
So if y'all ready to end this, let's get into these Dork Dad Questions. Y'all ready?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 1 for the both of y'all. What was your favorite cereal as a kid and now?
Ooh. Cinnamon Toast Crunch then. Strawberry shredded mini wheats now.
Cocoa Pebbles. And peanut butter crunch.
All right. Still kid cereal. That's right.
And I still eat it.
All right.
So I've made some changes, but I still eat it.
Number 2, funny you should say Kevin Smith. Number 2, I have Kevin Smith or Kevin James.
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith.
Yeah. I love Kevin Smith. I love how passionate he is about stuff. He's a big crybaby.
Oh man.
Hold on, I got
the hand gestures. Oh man, and let me tell you something, guys. I'm just like, dude, just watching the hand gestures, just like I'm excited already.
He was literally crying when they mentioned him in Captain Marvel. Like,
oh yeah, yeah.
What was his last name?
Huh?
I'm totally drawing a blank. We're Kevin Smith and Kevin who?
Kevin James.
Kevin James. King.
Oh, okay.
Not so funny.
I like him. I do. I love everything he's done.
Here Come the Boom. I love that movie.
I still have to say Kevin Smith. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 3. If we lived in the Old West, what do you think you'd be doing?
Outlaw.
Hanging out with Wyatt Earp.
So, all right.
So a cop versus an outlaw. Let's go.
Or
I think
it's that, or I'm gonna be shot in an outhouse.
Taking a shit.
I think it's the least favorite of the Back to the Future movies, but I love Part 3.
Me too.
They're in the West.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I love it.
And I think just because I have I like westerns, so I can appreciate it in a futuristic sense.
That whole trilogy is good. What do you think about the rumors of a remake?
I'm okay with it. Please give it to me. I will bend over and take it right now.
I'm okay with it. And the way I see it, if they can get some of the previous actors from the other films in it, that it gives it that much more nostalgia.
Would you
make Michael J. Fox actual Marty's dad?
Yeah.
Would you want a remake like 85 to 2015, or would you want it current present time, going further into the future?
So what I think, and I don't know how many other people think like me, but I think all of those movies, I think even the original Star Wars, I think they all need to be redone from their original, because there's so much more that they could do now, and they could make it so much better.
I think that's crazy.
With the limitations.
Star Wars.
The limitations to film, to production, CGI, even though there's
so you're for all the reboots and remakes.
I could do I can definitely do
even
that.
The Child's Play. Did you guys get into the new Child's Play?
I did not.
Yeah, I did. I watched it.
I did not see it.
I had to pass.
It didn't do what the original did for me. The original Chucky terrified the ever-living fuck out of me.
Well, here's a little... I'm not sure if you guys have heard about this, but the guy... Oh, man, I forgot his name. Damn it. I had it on the tip of my tongue. But the guy who voiced Chucky in the original is supposed to be coming back for a series, a Child's Play series, if I'm not mistaken.
That'd be dope.
So he has been in talks with a series, I think.
I think
that's kind of cool.
I think my problem with the remake was it was a robot.
Yeah.
It just didn't do it for me.
All right.
Possessed plastic doll, absolutely. Robot, not so much. Give me a motherfucking EMP.
All right, let's see.
Brad Dourif. There we go. I had to look it up or I was going to forget. Brad Dourif, who voiced Chucky.
How was Mark Hamill, though, as a voice?
I didn't hate it. Because, because it's Mark Hamill. Because Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
And I didn't hate it. I think he did all right. I think if they had put his voice in a plastic doll's body, we would have gotten somewhere.
I might give it a shot still. All right, let's see.
It's not a horrible watch. It's really not. It's not. I folded laundry while I watched it.
All right. Let's see. Question number 4. If you were in a commercial, what would you be selling?
Insurance like Flow.
Liberty Mutual?
Well,
Liberty Bibbity.
probably.
Emu.
Pizza or Italian food?
Nice. You'd be the Domino's delivery guy.
Yeah, there you go. I've done that.
You know what? I could do insurance like Flow, but it's gotta be funny like that, or I could be like some like stupid like Domino's delivery dude.
All right.
Hey man, how you doing?
Or just any kind of pizza delivery guy. I think in general. Yeah.
Turns out I was way too antisocial for that job.
It'd be like the new commercial where you just throw the pizza at the car. It's like...
Throw the pizza on the roof like what's it like Walter White? He gets pissed.
All right, let's see. Question number 5. What's your favorite Bruce Willis movie?
Ooh, Fifth Element.
Nice. I like that one.
That one and
or 12 Monkeys. 12 Monkeys is really good too.
Oh man, 12 Monkeys. I have to watch that one. I haven't seen that one in a long time. That one I'd probably have to go with that one.
Or Hudson Hawk.
Hudson Hawk.
Which one?
Hudson Hawk is probably one of my favorite Bruce Willis movies.
Okay, all of them. Can I just do all of them? All of them.
Fifth Element, Sixth Sense.
All right.
I'll do it.
He didn't have like a. It wasn't a very Bruce Willis role, but I loved the movie. I love the whole the dialogue, everything about it was just amazing.
I'm not a huge fan of Shall Make It Move, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah,
M. Night Shyamalan.
So
that guy, The Village. What the fuck was that about? Come on.
Since y'all are Kevin,
I still love Signs.
Since y'all are
Lady
Kevin,
in the Water, masturbation hand, really?
Since y'all are Kevin Smith fans, have you guys read his book? Shit, I forget which one it is. But he talks about working with Bruce Willis.
Have
you heard that?
I haven't read the book, but I've heard him talk about working with Bruce Willis.
Yeah, he hates Bruce Willis.
Yeah, he's not a fan at all.
He said he's a big dick, and I don't know. I think a lot of Hollywood may seem like that, though. Don't you think?
I think there's very few that are genuine people. Keanu Reeves, I think, is a genuine person. Kevin Smith, I think, is a semi-genuine person. If not a little bit snobbish on his own end. Who else?
From a comic / cartoon /
I would think Chris Evans is a real people person.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like I can kind of see like the snob in Kevin Smith, but I think it makes him very easy to like him just because of how much cool shit he's into. If he was still alive, I think Heath Ledger would be a legit, like, sensitive person. Just very caring.
Oh, absolutely.
Keanu as well. I definitely believe that.
By the way, Heath Ledger, Knight's Tale, one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a movie I will always keep in my collection. Always, always. And 10 Things I Hate About You wasn't a bad movie either.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
All right, let's see. Moving on, number 6. If you could live in any video game universe, what would it be?
Oh, that's not fair. Oh, damn. What are the parameters here? Can I change who I am in this universe repeatedly?
Hey, you're just in the universe. You could be whoever. You could be yourself. Man, I stumped y'all.
I'm debating. I'm debating on magic or action or...
Me, I wouldn't want to be in like Call of Duty because I'd rather be in the game where you can just chill out.
I would like that to be an option. However, I would also like to be able to Call of Duty at the same time. As long
as you can respawn. As long as you can respawn.
Huh? Yeah, I think you know what? You know where I put myself? I put myself in the Deadpool video game.
All right.
Because
I think I would put myself in the Lego Batman series.
There
you
go.
kind of fall apart like that sometimes.
That'd be a
See what
fun
you
one.
did there.
No, I think because Deadpool, pizza, underwear, guns. I'm good.
Definitely that one. Uncharted, just
Ooh,
because
yes.
Damn it.
Yes.
because that video game pretty much just changed my entire outlook on video games in the time where I was not particularly I was falling out. I was falling out of video games, which was very unlikely for me because I grew up playing video games, and then it got to a point where I was in the gray area where I was just like I was gonna do without video games, like completely. I was just running the PlayStation as a DVD player, and then I played that video game, and that video game just changed everything for me.
I would love that, but I don't know if I'd be hanging off any cliffs. Seems
I'll
like
just
that's all
have
he
him do it.
does.
I mean, if there's a respawn option, fuck yeah, I'm jumping head first.
Can I just hang off your backpack or something?
Let's go.
Uncharted. Also the Infamous games.
I never got into Infamous.
I liked Second Son was really I liked it for PS4.
I played it. I didn't care for the story so much.
I can't think of anything else. I'm actually looking at my video games right now. So,
What do you think about that? I don't know the status right now, but Ryan Reynolds was coming out. What was it called? The Good Guy, where he was like in a video game universe. I don't know if you saw that trailer.
I haven't, but I'm going to look for it now.
I think it's called The Good Guy.
I have to look into it.
Think of the trailer. He's like a bank teller, and then there's a robbery going on, and then like one day he decides to do something about it, and like he finds out he's in a game.
Is it Free Guy?
I don't know. I think it's something guy. Good Guy? Free Guy? Maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, Free Guy. That's it right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know the status of if that's coming out or still or not.
Let me see. I'll tell you in just a minute.
Yeah,
It was July 3rd. What does that tell you? Of this year, by the way.
It was supposed to come out in July.
Mm-hmm.
so it's postponed?
I'm looking for it right now.
I don't remember it coming out. But
Okay, right now it's got a new release date of December 11th, 2020.
Okay.
that one looks pretty good. You guys got to see the trailer.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the stills. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna dig this movie.
He started a streaming service, and he only has one movie on there.
Is it Green
Ryan
Lantern?
Reynolds?
I don't know. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. I read it last night, and it's just one movie that I've never heard of, and he's in it. And I was just like, what?
Just because it's him.
That's awesome.
Exactly. I'm seriously thinking it's a parody.
What is it called? What is I'm gonna do
I
it.
have
Ryan Reynolds.
no idea.
Fucking
I
hey,
have
you
no
know?
idea.
That's pretty funny.
Let's see here. Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, and it's the founder. It's not on Netflix anymore, but you can get it on Prime for $3.99.
Ryan Reynolds troll. Yeah, I knew this was it. Launches on streaming service featuring only one film. Foolproof. That's the one it's called.
Street style? Wow. So somebody in here asked Google what Ryan Reynolds' street style was. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Must be something the new kids are into.
People are fucking stupid. That's all I know.
All right. Since y'all are in San Antonio, number 7. What's your favorite taco?
Ooh, carne asada with cheese. Mm.
With cheese. I can't do it with cheese.
That's the only way I've ever had it. Well, the first time I was introduced, that's how I was introduced to it. And the people that I got it from, it's a little town called Seguin, about 30 minutes from here.
Yeah.
There's a little taco place there called Quick Taco. It was run by my friend's parents, and they Mexican food. My life changed. I had never had Mexican food like that before. I have never had it again. But it blew my mind in a way that I still, every time I go to a new taco joint, the first thing I order is carne asada with cheese because I want to know what it tastes like. And that's how I will gauge how often I will visit that place.
Bean and cheese breakfast tacos. But I love. There's a little taco truck down the street here on Hebner. Ian, you had those tacos. Remember that one night we went out?
Tommy's.
No, it wasn't Tommy's. It was that one night we went out to the bar. It was me, you, and Melissa, and we had those street tacos from that little store, that little place down, that little taco truck on Hebner, on Vance Jackson and Hebner.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called though.
But they were good. The street tacos there. But I can always do fajita.
Yeah,
fajita.
That was good.
Yeah, I'm a meat guy. Fajita or carne asada.
Pastor's good. From time every now and then I'll do pastor.
I don't get too kinky with it, man. It's barbacoa and carne asada are kind of the only meats I eat.
Yeah.
Not a fan of menudo at all.
I will get a nice tripa or molleja torta from time to time. I cannot. I love that stuff. Melissa doesn't like it. That's
I don't like the idea of it.
You don't get down with lengua?
Yeah.
Ooh, lengua tacos?
Yes. Or torta.
Oh my. No, so there's a place called Carmelitas down on Broadway, and I had their lengua tacos, and they were super good. Super good.
Just pretend it's barbacoa. It's the same thing.
I'm about to go eat my last barbacoa. Or not my last barbacoa, but my last carne asada that's in there for breakfast. Oh, I'm so hungry now.
All right, let's see. Almost done. Number 8. In your eyes, what celebrity would you say is a 10?
Colin Hanks.
Okay. I wasn't expecting that one, but okay.
A Tim.
A 10.
Oh, a 10. I thought you said a Tim.
1-0.
Who looks like a Tim.
No, 1-0. 10.
A 10.
But hey, if Colin Hanks is your 10.
He looks like a Tim. He looks like a Tim to me. A 10. Like a rating, like 1 to 10?
Yes.
Oof. Sandra Bullock.
I can see it. She's older now, but I can see it.
So the chick that plays Willow, Allison Hannigan, she's a total 10 to me. Absolutely.
For me, it's ScarJo.
I was thinking that was my second.
That's too much for me.
I can't handle it. I'm having a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, it would be like every conversation with a blah, 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 blah.
Excuse me, sir, you're drooling on yourself. Oh, no, that's natural. That's all real. That's him naturally.
I numbed my mouth right before I got here. So far, eh?
I'm sorry, sir. Did you eat a tub of Orajel? Well, yes, I did.
I still like Colin Hanks, though. That's an awesome answer.
Colin Hanks is a Tim.
10. A fucking 10.
Oh, my God.
10.
All right, let's see. Number 9. What movie do you quote the most? And what's your favorite quote?
Oh, shit.
Nice. Billy Madison.
Billy Madison.
Or Ace Ventura.
I got 2. Ace Ventura for sure, and I pretty much quote the entire movie all of the time. And Friday, no more locked doors.
Oh my, yeah. I've been. Fuck, dude. God damn.
Yeah, for me,
that's like one of those things where it's like, I'm just a carcass full of useless knowledge.
Yep, 100%.
And 50% of that is movie lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got to be Billy Madison. Easily Billy Madison, Waterboy, and Ace Ventura.
Me, anything Adam Sandler.
It is imperative that you hire me as your water boy. You give your football players that water?
You have a go-to, Ian, that you always say?
No more. It's either no more locked doors or it's oh God, the one I say the most.
I don't like. I think my go-to is probably gonna be like, "What's wrong, Emilio? Afraid I might make a stink." Whatever.
You know what my go-to is? My go-to is not movie related; it's TV related, and it's always "I tell you what."
Oh God, that's true. That's.
I tell you what. I can't do it right, but when I'm not trying, it sounds perfect. Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby. My daddy. Ian and I used to do that work all the time. I'll tell you what, but daddy.
I'll tell you what.
That, yeah. That, and my other go-to, stop it, lady. You're scaring us.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
Yeah. It's the Sloppy Joe's line from Billy Madison is probably my go-to. That's easily my go-to. I think so much so I think that Melissa and I have said that line at least 4 times this week.
Whenever that movie's on, I could recite the whole movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Agreed.
My kids are like, stop it.
That one, I don't say a whole lot of lines from it, but I could probably do. I know I can do Ace Ventura word for word, just about, and Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. Right.
Yeah, but the funny go-to line is the definitely the the Sloppy Joe's line.
All right.
Don't.
And the final Dork Dad question. Finish this sentence. Ready?
Oh dear Lord.
Well, not finished. It's not finished. I like big blank, and I cannot lie.
You want us to answer it correctly, or
however you want? However
I like
you
big
want.
Tim's.
Yes. I love Colin Hanks.
I love Colin Hanks, and I cannot lie.
I don't know. I got nothing.
Tacos.
I do like big tacos.
I love big
are good.
tacos. All right.
I love big enchiladas.
I love bigger spaces where I can display all my stuff and not feel like I'm cramped and crowded.
I love big homes, and I cannot lie.
I know.
I love big rooms.
You in a closet there?
Yes, I am.
I love big lofts.
I think my wife would love if I put all my stuff in the closet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I got my loft.
Because you said,
you know what? Fuck both of you, okay? I'm just gonna sit here in my office.
Because you said, I thought I listened to one of your episodes. You were doing it in the garage.
Yeah, when I first started, I was in the garage. My wife saw how bad I would come inside because I'd be dying and drenched.
And the one that we did was in the garage.
It was. So she's like, "We gotta find you a new space." I'm like, "There's nowhere." And then she started looking around. She's like, "You really don't hang that many clothes up, do you?" And I'm like, "No, not really." And she's like, "Okay, well, you're gonna take my closet, and I'm gonna take your closet, because this is literally all I hang up."
Nice.
So everything else goes in drawers. So she's like, "Take it, build yourself a nice little office, make it your home," and that's what I did. And I took over part of her office too because I have too much shit that I need to start getting rid of.
Hey guys, I really enjoyed talking to you guys. Glad to find some new San Antonio people to do podcasts. I don't know if you know, there's these guys, they run a show called Collecting Weekly by Zach and Dean. They do a show like, it seems like every day they have a bunch of shows out. And
are they from San Antonio?
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's also Comic Book Characters podcast. That's Alfred and Chris. They also are here local. So it's always nice to find more local folks. But
do you know if any of them have actually made something off of their podcasts?
I know Alfred and Chris from Comic Book Characters. They were actually nominated for one of the best podcasts in San Antonio this past year.
Nice.
If anybody's close to monetizing anything, it'd probably be Collecting Weekly. They're like a machine over there, those guys. You should really check them out. They actually do a lot of stuff live streaming on Facebook and stuff.
What's it called?
Collecting Weekly.
Collecting Weekly. I just followed them on
on
Spotify.
They have a Facebook group called Collecting Weekly Auxiliary, where they stream a lot of stuff too.
What was the other one that you mentioned?
The other local one is Comic Book Characters.
Comic Book Characters.
That's Chris and Alfred. Alfred actually, he does a comic auction every Saturday. We just had one yesterday.
Oh. Comic Book Characters, CBC Pod.
Yep, that's them.
It's got to be this
There's
one.
already quite a few people here. That's pretty impressive for San Antonio.
I figure it'd be good to network, get to know those guys. So.
Yeah. I mean, let's just do our own podcasting network.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely down with that. But I think what I'm right now I'm looking at this, and just talking to you guys. It's good because now, Lucky and I we had been chatting earlier. I think last week, earlier this week or something, and just the drive to want to do it and finding that motivation and finding other people to inspire you and be like, you know what, like, okay, I might not have the set skills that he does or the knowledge that he does because he's been around X amount of time. Me and Ian, we're newbies. We're green. We're as green as it gets.
I
when it comes to podcasts. But the idea that you have a somewhat extensive knowledge of it helps, because now I'm already running ideas through my mind. I work only 5 out of 7 days of the week, so out of those 2 days I could definitely do a podcast. It'll be busy days, because I have to work with the boys here at school and stuff like that, digital and distance learning, and that's fine. But now it's starting to, with the current events that I've got going on, selling this stuff, things that, selling some of my stuff, giving it away, whatever, the whole collector's thing. Now I'm starting to kind of get more ideas, but this helps. I thought tonight's podcast was good. And yeah, I'd be open to doing more like these between us three, and even with more people. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's my suggestion. I think you're absolutely on the right track. I think the three of us have our own shows, yes, but I think we could do this as well, and I think this would be great. However, I think, Leo, you and I need to shut up more because we talk way too fucking much.
I wanted to let you guys talk because this is my first time meeting y'all. I wanted to get to know y'all.
I feel like we hogged everything. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh my God, we talk so much.
There's fine.
There's and I was going to say there's that, yes, because that is very true. But secondly...
Leo and I have trouble not talking over each other on a regular basis.
Yeah, exactly.
Say
because it's always the same shit. It's always the same stuff. Yep, exactly. That's what I was about to say. Like someone thought it and the other person said it. So that's the way it goes. But there's that, and then
that's my wife. She hates it. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh God.
I can never remember where I got it from, and every time I talk to Leo, I'm like, that's where it is.
It happens here, and I'm like, Mercy, please.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. There's that, and then there's the idea that people are looking for content. So people always want to know what's on your mind. Right. Because as long as you're talking, if you can reach out to somebody, there's things that maybe we have said that they haven't heard from other podcasts. Maybe they've heard the same thing. Maybe they've heard like items or like discussions. But that's the whole point of it, to express, to think, to converse, whether and people are going to have their differences and opinions, and that's fine. But the idea that it's the connection at the end of the day with the podcast. As long as you can relate and reach out to somebody out there, somebody who, I don't know, gets picked on for being a collector or liking this set or whatever. That's what I feel. Episodes like this, or what Ian does with his episodes, or what I do in my episodes, that's how we contribute to reaching out to those people. It's not just talking about this, but it's like, hey, you're not alone, or whoever's listening, like, hey, you're not alone. Like, there's grown ass men who do this shit too, and it's fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
No
Absolutely.
goddamn thing wrong with it. You sorry.
Exactly.
It's cool to be a nerd nowadays.
Yeah, and that's what everybody wants to be.
All right, just to close out the show, where can everybody find you, follow you, Ian?
I have the Geek Paradox on Facebook, and then you can also listen to my podcast, which is the Geek Paradox. You can find it on any streaming service.
All right. No Instagram, either of you?
No Instagram. I have a Twitter, and I'm terrible with it. I'll get there eventually.
Well, where can people find you, Leo?
Adult Megaplex.
Yes, that's absolutely 100%
And
true.
that's 3 X's.
Every Tuesday.
Oh.
No.
Every Tuesday, every odd day of the week on Tuesday. Nerd Spew. So I am on Instagram. I'm sorry, Spotify and iTunes for Nerd Spew, and I have a Twitter, and I have my media page on Facebook. I think the Twitter is, I think it's Nerd Spew 1 if I'm not mistaken. So let me just double
I'm pretty
check.
sure my Twitter is the Geek Paradox 1, I think.
Yeah. So it's Twitter. You can find me at twitter.com /Nerd Spew 1 or at Nerd Spew 1. Facebook, just Nerd Spew. You can just look me up for Nerd Spew. And the same goes for iTunes and Spotify.
All right. And again, before you go, just kind of shout out again to the locals, comic book characters, podcasts, collecting weekly. And the network that I'm on also is Raw Live Unedited Podcasting Network. Shout out to all those guys on there. And until next time, we'll see y'all later.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having us, man.
You've been listening to the Dork Dad Podcast. Please remember to follow, like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Until next time, keep it dorky.
Lucky I'm selling more stuff. Buy it all.
This is what he does. This is what he does this to me every time I'm walking to GameStop. Ian, you need this. You need this.
Anything
need
Batman.
You know, I've worked here for 5 years. I know what I need. Shut your mouth. Give it to me now. Both of you mull this over. Just think about it. Don't say anything yet. But I think we should do this again on a regular basis because I think it would be fun. And I think we could get something going here.
I'm down with it. If you want to make we can make our own show. You know.
Agreed.
Leo, I mean, do you have the time to devote like 1 day a week to this?
Yeah, I could probably do 2 days a week.
Okay. I mean, I'm down because I think we could
It's
get
all
some
about balancing schedules. Because I'm pretty stoked that I got you guys a little motivated to do something.
It's been fun. I haven't gotten. I don't go out. I don't.
It's
I
better
keep telling Leo I'm gonna come visit him. I've visited him one time. We were a star duo for GameStop.
Yeah.
We made GameStop money. Sometimes it's good. It's okay to be fucking negative. Sometimes you need it. You need negativity in your life to balance everything out. You just need it. Where did Leo go?